Prayed and fasted to atone for what they called the nation's sins. NPR's Odette Youssef has more. The gathering called for 1 million women, but numbered more in the tens of thousands. Anna Freeman drove 17 hours from northern Wisconsin.
I just knew the Lord, He wanted me out here.
The rally focused on several, sometimes unrelated issues that have galvanized the far right since 2020. Gender identity, sex trafficking, and pornography. For Freeman, the key one is getting a national ban on abortion. She sees the 2024 election as critical to bringing the country back to her idea of Christian ideals.
We don't battle the flesh, it's a spiritual battle. And so it's a really powerful movement.
Before the 2020 election, similar rallies brought thousands of Christian nationalists to D.C. After Trump's loss, that energy was channeled into Stop the Steal efforts. Odette Youssef, NPR News. Some 4 million voters have cast their ballots for the general election. And as NPR's Hansi Lawang reports, about a handful of states are days away from closing voter registration for this fall's election.
There are only hours left for eligible voters in Delaware. Register online, in person, or by mail to vote in this fall's election. Monday is the extended deadline in South Carolina, where a court ordered state election officials to give eligible voters more time to sign up after Hurricane Helene tore through the state. 5 states share the same voter registration deadline on Tuesday: Kansas, Louisiana, New Jersey, Oregon, and West Virginia. Election officials say already registered voters should take some time to check their registration status before these deadlines. Voters can sometimes fall off a registration list or need to update their information because they've moved, changed their name, or haven't voted in a while. Hansi Lawang, NPR News.
And you're listening to NPR News from Washington. New research is shedding fresh light on the connection between young adults' success in college and career and the kinds of learning opportunities they had as children. NPR's Corey Turner has more.
Researchers have long known that childhood poverty creates barriers that can last a lifetime. But findings from a 26-year longitudinal study help explain why. Researchers studied children growing up at various income levels, and they tried to measure their access to different opportunities, especially educational opportunities. Things like early childhood care, high-quality classrooms, and organized after-school activities. And the study found lower-income kids in general have access to far fewer opportunities than higher-income children. And that opportunity gap is strongly linked to a later gap in college attainment and earnings. Corey Turner, NPR News.
A massive NASA spacecraft is now ready to take off for Jupiter and also its moon, Europa. The craft, the Europa Clipper, will look beneath the moon's ice crust to try to find out whether conditions there could support life. The scientists think there is a big hidden ocean at Europa, which makes it one of the best bets for finding life beyond Earth. But this craft won't actually look for real life, but rather the ingredients necessary for life to exist. But it will be a while. It will take 5.5 years for the spacecraft to get there. I'm Janine Herbst, and you're listening to NPR News from Washington.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include the Kauffman Foundation, providing access to opportunities that help people achieve financial stability, upward mobility, and economic prosperity, regardless of race, gender, or geography. Kauffman.org.
Support comes from the Denver Center Theater Company, presenting the adaptation of Erica L. Sanchez's novel, I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter, now playing through November 3rd. Tickets at denvercenter.org.
Why not? You guys gonna say what, you're Mexican? I thought you were black. I thought you were Puerto Rican. I thought you were Jew.
Hey, how you doing? It's Ramtin here. Before we get started, we want to thank you all for listening to Throughline. Without you, this show doesn't exist. And we've got a way for you to actually help us out by telling us what you like and how we could improve the show by completing a short anonymous survey at npr.org/Throughline survey. It takes less than 10 minutes, I promise, and you'll do all of us here at Throughline a huge favor by filling it out. That's npr.org/Throughline survey. Thank you so much. And now, on to the show.
You're listening to Throughline from NPR. I'm Randa Abdel Fattah.
And I'm Ramtin Arablouei. Today on the show, how a medieval battle for Jerusalem reshaped our world.
Prologue. The Call to Arms.
Yeah, start a war. Medieval times,
O race of Franks, we wish you to know what grievous cause has led us to your country.